welcome everybody to another live episode of Strong Style here on the Outlaw Nation channel. I'm excited. I'm one of your outlaws. I am the outlaw, one of your hosts. John Rocha here, excited to get into all the stuff we're going to talk about here in the world of professional wrestling. And of course, riding shotgun right next to me, all the way to Orlando and beyond to Raymond James Stadium in a few weeks. It's Aaron Turner. How are you, bro?
Hello to everybody out there listening and watching, and especially to friend of the show, Tony Storm. Good to see you.
What? Is she friend of the show?
No, but if you never know, one day.
All right. I take back well, I mean, I love the New Zealanders, so I'm good to go there. I've said that many, many times. The Australian people, that's a separate conversation. Anyway, we're here to talk about all the stuff that's going on in the world of professional wrestling. Can't thank you enough for joining us live. This is our new time now, Saturdays at 12 p.m. PT. And we found that more and more people are enjoying the show when we schedule at this time. So this is the time going forward. Thank you so much. Remember that the Streamlabs and Super Chats are open for you to send in your support, send in your questions, your thoughts, your comments. If you like us doing the show every week, send a little bit to give us some love and some support here. And we'll be bringing up your comments on the screen throughout the show. And there's a lot to get into today for sure. Aaron Turner, you've got yourself tickets for WrestleMania. Are you allowed to say that? Are you okay to say that? What's your feeling now? You're going to go back. The rumor is 45,000 people per night. Did you get tickets for both nights or just one night?
Well, that's been quashed. That's now down to 25,000.
Oh, okay.
So we're back down to 25,000. Tickets were supposed to go on sale Tuesday, but they got pushed back. I don't know exactly why. There were rumors that WWE got nixed on the 45,000, so I don't know. But anywho, I'm glad that it's 25. I say only 25, like that's not like a shit ton of people, but it's a lot of people. I did get tickets for both nights, so I will be there both nights at Raymond James Stadium. So.
All right, congratulations, man. I'm sure that wasn't an easy ticket to come by, so you will be there. I'm still going to try in vain to get sent as press. I'm sure it's not going to happen, but you got to shoot your shot in life and see what happens. Maybe we need to do a few more shows before I finally get the opportunity to be able to go down there as press, or we both get the opportunity to go down there as press. We shall see. Anyway, let's get into it. What do we got first, my man?
First is somebody that's back, or I'm back. That's Eric Bischoff is the newest WWE Hall of Famer going in this year. Easy-E, man, the leader of the NWO, or I should say the architect of the NWO and WCW.
Oh, yeah.
We give you a little background on Eric Bischoff before we talk about him. Started off with Vern Gagne in the AWA in 1987 as a backstage person, not talking like on-air announcer. That came in 1989. Started as announcer with WCW in 1991. Took over as WCW Executive Vice President in 1994 after Jim Ross departed for the WWF at that time. In 1996, of course, Bischoff instrumented the formation of the NWO, which completely changed the landscape of professional wrestling. Joined the WWE in 2002 after WCW's closure and was exclusively an on-air talent, no behind the scenes for him. Joined TNA in 2010 as an on-air backstage talent and also as executive producer. And, these days he's rocking his podcast 83 Weeks with Conrad Thompson, one of the best wrestling podcasts out there. What do we think of Eric Bischoff in the WWE Hall of Fame?
I can't tell you what a weird situation this is. I did not expect it at all. I mean, this is the guy that tried to put the WWE out of business. And whatever you may say about Vince McMahon, it's pretty incredible how, legitimately, whatever is best for business, he is willing to do, as long as most of the time he comes out as the top dog when he's going up against his own competitors, like he did with Paul Heyman, like he did with Bischoff here, brought them both into the fold. These were his competition in the 90s, Heyman with ECW, Bischoff with WCW, and Bischoff, like his podcast says, beat WWE in the ratings on Monday night for 83 weeks in a row. No other federation had been able to do that after Vince McMahon took control of the WWF/WWE. So incredible accomplishment by him, and has left a legacy. And then out of left field, Vince McMahon brings in Eric Bischoff to become part of the WWE. He has been so for a few years, then kind of went away for a little bit, came back for SmackDown. That only lasted a few months, and then now he's off doing his own thing again. But you can't deny the legacy of Eric Bischoff when it comes to the WWE. There is no Attitude Era without Eric Bischoff. There is no second explosion, second golden age There is no Rock. There is no Triple H. There is no DX. There is none of this without the NWO and what Eric Bischoff was able to do with the NWO. It gave them the excuse to make these changes from the characters they had before. We mentioned Tatanka last week. Characters like that, they moved away from characters like that. They moved away from the older generation and got into the younger people and had them build characters out and have fun. And people like Undertaker roll through that whole thing and is an icon now. But most of the people who were coming in before the Attitude Era came along were moved out slowly but surely throughout that process. So you can't deny his accomplishments here. Did he do enough in the WWE to merit the Hall of Fame? Probably not in the WWE, but what he was able to do to influence the WWE certainly merits his inclusion.
Well, I think that since the WCW, ECW, all that is now a part of WWE, it's fine. It's fine that he's in the Hall of Fame. I don't like Eric Bischoff at all. I just want to throw that out. I just want to throw that out there. I'm not gonna crap on his accomplishments because I you can't do that because the guy's accomplished so much. He was the guy, 83 weeks, like you mentioned, had Vince on the ropes. WWF on the verge of closing down. There were some days they just didn't know that it was going to happen, and Eric Bischoff was that guy to go toe to toe with Vince McMahon. Were his tactics a little questionable? Yes, but business is business. And that's how it goes sometimes. Controversy creates cash. That's his catchphrase. That's the name of his book. So Eric Bischoff definitely deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame. I just don't like him because I think he's a smug prick. And I think
who isn't a smug prick that runs a business in the professional wrestling? Tell me, how are you including Vince McMahon? Are you including Paul Heyman? Are you including these other people Jim Cornette? Why is your vitriol for Eric specifically?
Because the way he revises his own history, especially the history of WCW and stuff like that, talking about how, if anything happened or any bad decision, it wasn't him that did it. It was it was Turner Broadcasting that did it. It was somebody else that did it. It's like, dude, you're the VP. It all falls on you. But he never seems to take the blame for anything like that. Like screwing up Bret Hart when he came to WCW, he doesn't take any blame for that. He doesn't take any blame for the company closing, anything like that, and being horrible. So it just kind of, I don't know, man, like that part of it. I don't like Eric Bischoff because I feel like if you listen to the podcast, you can never get a straight answer out of Eric Bischoff. And that's what I don't like. Just give me the straight answer. Like WCW was gone 20 years ago. Like it was over 20 years ago. I think it's time we can give some straight answers about stuff and quit being such an asshole. But at the same time, 100% earned, 100% deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for, if anything else, for the NWO alone. That's all you need to know. That's if he never did anything else, if he stopped right there, it would have been fine. But of course, on top of the 83 weeks, and when he came to the WWE in 2002, he's a good character, man. A good GM character. That stuff that he did with Stone Cold Steve Austin, though a little bit goofy, ended up being pretty fun. Of course, you had the 3-minute warning. Then again, you also had a hot lesbian action with Eric Bischoff. That was kind of his brainchild. So, it had its good, it had its bad, but Eric Bischoff definitely deserved a spot in the WWE Hall of Fame, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and we'd be remiss not to mention the Elimination Chamber. That's something he came up with, he put forward, he created. So without that, we wouldn't have the Elimination Chamber, and that's rarely it's a rare elimination pay-per-view where you don't enjoy that match. It's a rare one. It asks a lot of the wrestlers, and it puts a lot of drama into the storylines when they're involved in Elimination Chamber. So for maybe the NWO and Elimination Chamber, both of those in combination, certainly he deserves a lot of love, like Pat Patterson does for coming up with the Royal Rumble. If you come up with a pay-per-view that people enjoy and is lasted the test of time, then you do deserve a consideration for the Hall of Fame. Paul Heyman not in the Hall of Fame, though. Kind of surprising. Let's circle back on that in just a second. I'm getting ahead of myself. Did you see Bischoff's reaction, though, when Corey Graves told him? Did you think it was authentic? Did you appreciate the tears? Did it, melt your icy cold heart towards Eric just a little bit?
I mean, like I said, he's 100% deserving. So if you're going to put him in, I have no problems at all putting Eric Bischoff in, my personal disdain aside. Yeah, I think it was genuine for the most part. I think that the Hall of Fame has taken a real credibility hit over the past couple of years. I think there's people in there that you would be like, "Ugh, I don't know about that." I'm looking at you, Mark Henry, where I really question the authenticity of the Hall of Fame if we're not just, being buddy-buddy with everybody. Okay. But Eric Bischoff is one of those that sticks out as somebody that absolutely deserves a spot. Do I think his tears were genuine? Yeah, probably for the most part, sure. I mean, it is a big accomplishment.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And to be selected and going in with Molly Holly, so far 2 people. And I think this is happening April 6th. Am I correct? We're right around the corner from it. Is that right?
Yeah, and it's not good. It's a part of that big week of WWE programming. So you've got Raw, the Hall of Fame, then you got NXT Stand and Deliver on Wednesday and Thursday, SmackDown Friday, WrestleMania on Saturday and Sunday. So it's going to be a part of that. It's not going to be live, which I saw that recently. So go ahead and if you can, this is not a plug, but whatever, sign up for Peacock. And I signed up for it today. I got the Peacock Premium, and it's $10 for 4 months right now.
Yep.
So you can do that. So like $250 a month, and you can get all the way to July on Peacock. So do that for sure. Yeah,
and you can sign up. I think it's $5 for the ad one. So you just deal with the ads and whatever, and you can do that. I've got that on Hulu. And the ads are fine, so but I do have the Peacock Premium because I like watching a lot of stuff on there. WWE now being added to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Have you navigated on Peacock? I mean, because remember, it was there, the navigability on the WWE app took a long time before it was finally, comfortable to do so and easy to do so. Have they kind of adjusted that for Peacock or brought that model over for Peacock? Have you navigated on there yet to WWE content?
I messed with it a little bit today. I was watching the AJ Styles Untold about his debut at the Royal Rumble. I was there.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. You should definitely watch that. It gets a little bit of history about AJ's run. I hope we get a more fleshed out biography. But yeah, it's just, it's like the bare minimum right now until they get more content added over there, but it's not too hard to find. They have their own tab, which is nice.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go looking through just all their regular TV shows, which would take forever. Yeah. But I did read that people were upset because the whole library is not going to be there until August, and they're not going to have you won't be able to watch Raw and SmackDown replays for a month, which is like, didn't the network do that anyway, or was it 2 weeks? I don't know. Watch it on Hulu. It's cheap. So I have no problem with it moving to Peacock. The more the stuff that's going to go on there, the easier it's going to be to navigate, I think.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. And let's see. Haskell says, I checked out WWE and Peacock. Ugh, not liking it as of now. No rewind or fast forward. Can't watch from the beginning live events. All right, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Fastlane will be an interesting experiment this Sunday. And of course, stay tuned for our preview later on in the show. But certainly that's going to be an interesting thing to navigate and see the functionality of that app. I will be messing around with it at some point this weekend because I already have Peacock. So to me, I've essentially saved money by having WWE swing on over there for no extra charge. All right. Let's move on. We'll see if I got any Streamlabs or Super Chats. Oh, a couple of Streamlabs. Thank you. Justin Toner says, hi, John and Aaron. The Thunder Rosa Britt Baker lights out match lived up to the hype. Amazing match. AEW put out a video showing them getting a standing ovation backstage from the roster. Love to see that. Also, props to Aaron for getting Mania tickets. There you go, Aaron. We'll talk about the Thunder Rosa Britt Baker match in just a second for sure.
In that.
And then Justin says, as for NXT, good show this week despite COVID outbreak. Walter showing up made me so happy. Him versus Ciampa at TakeOver will be amazing. TakeOver Stand and Deliver looking to be a winner with Finn Balor and Karrion Kross, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Io Shirai, Raquel, and the card is not even final yet. So absolutely. And we'll put a pin in that as well, Justin. We're going to definitely swing around to NXT for sure. But let's jump into your first question. Let's jump into the Thunder Rosa Britt Baker match next year.
We're saving that for the end. We're saving that for the end.
For the end. People are watching for now. All right. Yeah. Where do we go to now?
We're talking about NXT. So we're going second question first, I guess.
All right.
So we're going to talk about what happened on NXT this week. Yes, Walter did arrive to NXT proper after weeks of Imperium talking crap to everybody, saying that he's coming. And finally, Walter arrived and attacked Tommaso Ciampa, who now has hair. And it's very weird. It's very weird to see him with hair. I don't like it. Please get rid of it. It's gray. It's terrible. You look like an old geezer. Stop it.
Wow.
Sorry. Kyle O'Reilly was on a video screen with Adam Cole. Adam Cole came out to cut a promo in the ring, and Kyle O'Reilly showed up on the video screen and said, I'm not going to wait to come to Adam Cole. I'm going to find him. And he tried to run Adam Cole off the road.
Yeah.
In Orlando, which is not hard to do, by the way. That's pretty common. So that I'm sure the cops didn't even look into that. Like, oh, you got ran off the road. That's just commonplace. And also in the main event, it was Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan retaining their tag team titles against NXT champion Finn Balor and Karrion Kross after Kross essentially double crossed Finn Balor and beat the hell out of him. And it looks like Danny Burch might have actually suffered a real knee injury, which is a shame because they've been doing a lot of good work as tag team champions. I hate to see that. But
yeah,
out of these things, Walter, Kyle O'Reilly running Adam Cole off the road, and Finn Balor and Karrion Kross get into it. What got you excited? Anything?
I mean, I think Walter, because look, it's the rare wrestler that can just walk in with a black set of tights and handle business. It is rare with one name. It is rare, and so when you're able to do that, I think that speaks volumes about your ability, about your presence, about your aura with the fans, and he delivers incredible matches every time he faces people of quality. So the fact that he's going to take on Ciampa, this is fucking brilliant. People love Ciampa. People love Walter. This is going to be an incredible clash of styles as well. Ciampa, the faster worker in the ring. Walter, the more brutal worker in the ring, for sure. So that's going to be a fun combination. I enjoyed that. I don't know, man. The Scarlett Bordeaux stuff, dude, I'm not feeling that, to be honest with you. I don't think she's good at it. I know people like her and think she's beautiful, and I totally won't argue that. But this whole I'm gonna talk you into things. I'm like, does this really happen? This feels like something from the 80s or 90s, this kind of character. So that kind of turns me off a little bit about the Karrion Finn Balor situation. I thought Karrion acquitted himself well on the mic going toe-to-toe with Finn. I thought that was great. What do you even need Scarlett for? It just seems to make sense to me. Let these two dudes go at it. Her kind of seducing Lorcan and them into the match with it. It just didn't work for me overall. But I did like seeing Io Shirai walking up there and slamming the contract in Raquel's chest. I enjoyed seeing Dakota Kai do her thing yet again against the up-and-comer there. And overall, just a fun, just not a great NXT night, but certainly a night considering all the COVID positive tests. I think they were able to adapt and troubleshoot and switch some things around and deliver a good, if not great, night of NXT programming for sure. What about you?
Of course, I'm a big NXT mark. I'm always going to be. That's my number one go-to. If I have to watch anything in WWE, you better put me on some NXT. I love seeing Walter showing up. The second that guy hits a chop on somebody and it doesn't kill them, I'm always surprised. Like just the way that he does. And if you saw that, going back to the Scarlett thing, if you saw that picture of Scarlett and Oney Lorcan, I mean, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Dude got caught. But I'm just saying, you do need Scarlett in there because she does add a little bit of the mystique to that character. It's like a weird gothic romance, like she's in some kind of weird trance. I don't know. She's like an evil witch character. I'm fine with it. It does
do better acting wise. Then
it does feel. I got you. It does feel a little 80s. I know what you're saying. It does feel a little 80s. But WWE is so, if you believe the reports, are so high on that act of Karrion Kross and Scarlett that they're gonna keep running with it. Dude. Like they see so much future potential in Karrion Kross to be not only the top guy in NXT, but the top guy of the company. Yeah. So that's just one thing that we're all just going to have to get used to. And she could get better. She's been in NXT for maybe a year, so she's got time to get there. So, other than that, I like that we're going to get Io Shirai and Raquel Gonzalez. That was made official earlier today. Yeah, that is definitely happening. So I'm good to see that. I think it's a little weird that they put the tag team titles on them just to take them off. Thought that was kind of strange for her, Dakota Kai, after they had gone through so much to earn those. But it looks like Raquel Gonzalez is positioning herself to be the top woman in NXT, which will be cool to see. And Rhea Ripley, this is a little side note, Rhea Ripley is finally making her Raw debut this Monday. So we're going to see Rhea Ripley, the nightmare herself, on WWE Raw. But yeah, like you said, a decent episode of NXT. Yeah. We got a couple weeks, I think 3 weeks until Stand and Deliver. So we're going to have these bridge episodes where we're just kind of putting little touches on everything. So the next couple weeks will probably be really ramped up.
Yeah. Love the chat right now. Zeno Hours there. Scarlett can talk me into committing tax fraud easily. Mataranta envisioning a Scarlett versus Evil Bliss someday. She will absolutely promo her out of the stadium if she went toe-to-toe with Alexa.
Oh, come on.
Someone said she's like Catwoman and Karrion as Batman. Well, maybe. I think she's more like, what was her name? The actress in Batman and Dark Knight Rises. I forget her name.
Anne Hathaway?
No, the other one.
Marion Cotillard?
Yeah, Marion Cotillard. She's more like that than she is.
She's more Talia al Ghul and Bane.
Mortality, how cool. Yeah. Look, Raquel's getting these chances. I think that's a positive, Aaron. You can't look at it any other way but that. They see some potential in her. They're giving her these shots at showing what she can do in these high profile matches. So we'll see. But you said something caught my, you said that you think they're positioning her to be the top dog on the women's division. Do you think they're going to move Io Shirai to Raw or SmackDown, or do you think they're going to let Io Shirai kind of recede into the background a little bit and let Raquel run with the strap?
I think we're going to see Io stick around at NXT for just a little bit, and then we'll see her move to Raw or SmackDown. Because I mean, she's been the champion for I feel like over a year, maybe a little bit less than a year now. I'm thinking about it. She's done everything. She's ran through everybody in the division, so there's not really much left for her to do. Just like Rhea Ripley. Yeah. Now Rhea Ripley showing up on Raw. There's just not much for Io to do in NXT. She could stick around and get a couple people over, maybe. Her and Candice LeRae could finally settle their beef and do something like that. Yeah. But she doesn't need to stick around too long, because if you stick around too long, you run the risk of becoming like a Shayna Baszler type who stayed on the roster in NXT a little too long. And then when she got to Raw, she was kind of instantly a bit of an afterthought, and I hate seeing what she's turned into these days. Yeah. I think Io's too talented to let that happen to her, and I don't think WWE wants that to happen to her, because they love the international stars. They want those international views. So I think they see a lot in her, and I think she's going to be moving up. But Raquel is someone else, not unlike Karrion Kross, that people, if you believe the reports in the back, they have a lot of confidence in what she can do in the ring, and they're pretty much putting the whole train behind her. So it makes sense.
Okay, I'm excited for it. That's for sure. But yeah, NXT moving soon. I think probably after that pay-per-view, we'll see what kind of response people have to it, and then after that, we'll move on to hopefully Tuesday nights, and then be able to watch it solo on its own, and let it kind of kick some ass, and let it show you or showcase future stars yet again. So I'm down. All right, let's see. We have any more Streamlabs or Super Chats? No, we don't. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you support the show, you like the show, send in some support. Send in some positive feedback. Send in some of your support here through your questions, through your thoughts, through your comments here on I've pinned the address in the chat. It's also above Aaron's head there and in the description of this video. Also, let's move on and let's talk about the next thing. What do we got, Aaron?
Okay. We're going to talk about the fallout from AEW Dynamite this week. A couple things before we get into that big match. I know everybody wants to talk about it. It was the talk of the week. That's why it's in the middle of the promo. Thank you to AEW for sending me those pictures. Appreciate that. Yeah. MJF and his new group debuted. They are the Pinnacle. That is their name. And they cut an introductory promo. That's MJF, FTR, Shawn Spears, Wardlow, and it looks like they're going to be managed by Tully Blanchard, which is pretty friggin' rad. And then Tully cut a great promo, handed it over to MJF, did a lot of good work there. Then Cody and Pentagon opened up the show, had a pretty good match, and then Pentagon got beat by a roll-up, so I don't really know how I feel about that. Yeah. And then, of course, the main event of the evening, lights out, the St. Patrick's Day Bash main event. Thunder Rosa defeated Dr. Britt Baker, and just a match that we'll have to go into more depth here in a minute. But those other couple things I talked about on Dynamite, anything stick out to you, or you just want to move on to the big thing?
No, I just want to move on to the big thing. Yeah, MJF further ahead. Great. The Pinnacle, sure. Nice name. Let's see what they can do. But really, it's about this match. I mean, everything else kind of pales in comparison. And this was on purpose. I think they wanted to have for lack of a better term, lights out match that really kind of made people forget a little bit of the drama around AEW that's been happening, and they sure as hell did it with this incredible match. So, Aaron, please take it away.
I want to talk a little bit about the Cody and Pentagon thing before we get there, because I want to talk. I want to save my good stuff. Okay. So you have Cody and Pentagon that have this good back and forth last week. Pentagon on the mic, and they kind of get into a little bit of a brawl. I'm like, okay, we're building towards a pay-per-view match, and then I turn on Dynamite this week and like, nope, it's going to be the first match right out the gate. And I'm like, man, come on, save this for pay-per-view. Right. What are we doing here? And I mean, Pentagon said he was going to hurt Cody Rhodes' arm so bad that he wouldn't be able to hold his baby girl. That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up. That's a good piece. I do too. That's a good piece of a promo. Yeah. And then that should have been saved for a pay-per-view match, or at least a main event match, not an opening contest on Dynamite. Yeah. These two are no stranger to tearing it up. I love Pentagon. I've loved him for a long time, since the Lucha Underground days. Cero Miedo. Love the stuff. Love everything that this guy does. Lucha Ghost Ninja. Yeah. I don't understand why we're having Pentagon lose to Cody right away. I don't understand it. Unless Pentagon is going to get the best of him in the end, I don't like it. I don't get it. I know I've been really critical of stuff that AEW has done lately, but this is what happens when it's with two guys that I really like. I really like Cody and I really like Pentagon.
Yeah.
And I just thought, if you're going to do this, we need to save this for pay-per-view. And I'll probably say that 15 more times. But the match was just okay. And it told me that these guys together may not mesh as well as they think. And that sucks, because I think these two on a grand stage with some sort of gimmick behind it, cage match, first blood, whatever, could really do some damage to each other. And I would really like to see that, but don't give it to me for free on TNT. I don't want that. I hated that whole part of it.
Okay. Well, I mean, maybe they're just kind of laying the groundwork for what to expect, what you hope to see going forward. You can only go up from here, Aaron. And I hear you. The chemistry issues, yeah, I could sense that. And maybe Cody had two different finishes planned out ahead of time. Maybe there was one if they were doing well, they were having great chemistry, and people were into it who were watching ringside. Then they would adjust it and have a different finish. But maybe Cody felt, all right, let's do the finish where I beat you. We're going to deliver a better match. You're going to be even more angry now as a heel that you want your revenge on me. You're going to be even more vicious, because you're right. Most of the time when a heel comes for a hero like this, the heel takes the victory first in a surprising fashion, and then it goes back and forth as you go forward until the face eventually wins out in the end. So maybe in this way, they're just kind of setting things up for Pentagon to even be an even more brutal heel, an even more vicious heel, as this frustration grows that he can't beat Cody, or that he lost to Cody. So it's a way of goading him back into the ring for an even more hellacious match, as you mentioned, a Hell in a Cell type match, or barbed wire match, which you hate, or anything else.
Barbed wire bombs I don't like, yes.
Barbed wire bombs, yeah. Neither does Moxley. So
yeah, apparently so. Kenny Omega can't build a ring worth shit. But I could see Pentagon, because he did beat the hell out of Cody after the match. So that was a good start to what.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
The anger, frustration.
I expect him in the next couple of weeks to do the break arm thing that he likes to do, which is pretty great. The breaker of bones. So I'm excited for that, but I didn't like how we got there. You know what I mean? Like, it deserves more than you gave it, AEW, and I think that a lot of people felt that way, or at least I hope they did.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
And wait a minute, wait. Okay. In the chat, Chris Taylor said it seemed like this match was used to push QT Marshall as a heel. I absolutely 100% agree with you there that was done, and then I would ask the question, why? Because QT Marshall is not a Dynamite talent. Like, he's not worth our time on. No offense, he's not worth our TV time on.
You can't pull it back. You can't pull it back with the no offense.
Fair enough. He's not worth the TV time on Dynamite to invest a heel into. This guy is not main event talent. I don't understand why we're doing this. This is something you can do on AEW Dark. You don't have to do it on Dynamite. I hated that whole thing. It just, God, hated it.
Respect. All right. Darren Wright asks thoughts on the Heritage Cup gimmick in WWE UK. What do you think about this, Aaron? This Heritage Cup gimmick that's going on. Tyler Bate and Noam Dar are colliding at NXT UK, prelude for a Heritage Cup championship match that'll be coming up soon. What do you think about that?
Well, the more you can get Tyler Bate on my TV, the more I'm excited about it. I saw recently that Trent Seven lost like a ton of weight too, and he was taking on Jordan Devlin this week. I got to be honest with you guys, I'm not really up to date on NXT UK. That's my fault. Outside of the Kaylee Ray Mako Satomura match they had a few weeks ago, I haven't really kept up. So Heritage Cup eludes me. I don't even really know what you're talking about, to be honest with you. But I got to be straight with you. But if you can get Tyler Bate on my TV more, I'm for it, because I like Tyler Bate a lot.
Well, they're going to take this on because Tyler Bates kind of adapted the Zen lifestyle of himself, and Noam Dar kind of a little bit taking a page from what's his face, the punter guy, McCaffrey. Is that his name for the guy?
McAfee.
McAfee. Sorry, it's McAfee. Pat McAfee, from his approach to things, being a host of a show, they're trying to mess with Bate, and they got into it. So now they're going to battle on Thursday, April 8th. On the Peacock Network. So they're going to battle it out, and whoever wins takes on the A-Kid in the Heritage Cup championship. So That's going to be interesting. And shout out to AK, a Spanish wrestler. Maybe he's going to Spanish wrestler. Maybe he's going to come over at some point to the WWE, main WWE. That would be a blast. For God's sakes, hire me to be his manager. I'll show you how it's done. I'm just putting it out there.
Justin Toner in the chat also, before we move on, said looking forward to Jordan Devlin versus Santos Escobar for the Cruiserweight title at TakeOver. That's going to be ridiculous. Santos Escobar cut a hell of a promo this week on and Jordan Devlin as well. A lot of good work from those guys. Santos Escobar is one of those guys that you look at as he's a cruiserweight champion, yet he's there on 205 Live, which whatever, who cares? But anyway, he's so good in the ring. He's got the look, he's got the in-ring skills, he's got the mic work that just needs maybe a tinge of polish, and he could be one of those guys that breaks out from the cruiserweight division and all that stuff and becomes a Raw or SmackDown megastar. Like, I kind of look at him as Andrade, but with a little, Andrade's first language is not English, and neither is Santos Escobar, but the guy can speak English fluently. He can talk you into a building, he can get you pissed off at him, and that's the difference between those two. And I could see Santos Escobar actually jumping Andrade and becoming more of a bigger star in the WWE.
Yep. Chris Taylor Grizzly says Escobar has the tools to be a top guy. No surprise there. All right, enough with the chitter chatter. 35 minutes of small talk and foreplay. Let's get to the sex. Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. This match, lights out match, bloody, insane match. Tacks were involved, tables were involved. Billy Badass Gunn screaming from the sidelines. Face plants into steps were involved. This was madness. This had been building for quite some time. Thunder Rosa hyping up the match on her Instagram. This was incredible, man. It tore the house down. Does it come close to Bayley versus Sasha? No, but it's a damn good match for AEW. Deserve the standing ovation. Deserve the love from Chicon there that was hanging out backstage. So you tell me, what'd you think?
All right. Let me scoot closer to the mic here so I can make sure everybody hears me very, very confidently. This match ruled. Okay. It started off kind of slow. Like, I saw it yesterday because I'd heard all the hype about it. I saw all the pictures. I was like, wow. So I watched it yesterday, and it starts kind of slow. Like, we go to the outside and they're doing spins into the chairs, and it's just not really working out right. But the second that Britt Baker hits that stomp on Thunder Rosa on the outside on the steps, that's when it really went up a notch, because Thunder Rosa had a little bit of blood, but it wasn't too much. It was just like, okay, she got her on the steps, got her bleeding a little bit. That's cool. And then once they started bringing in the chairs, and we had a suplex on a ton of chairs, we had Thunder Rosa drop kicking the ladder into Britt Baker's face, which is what essentially busted her open. Then once Britt Baker was busted open, that's when we took it up another notch, because there's this, I mean, I'm not saying that one is more beautiful than the other. I don't want to be rude, but Britt Baker is a beautiful woman. Sure. And to see this beautiful woman absolutely busted open and bloody, I saw so much on the internet of, I cannot believe that wrestling fans would like to see such a beautiful woman all bloody. And that's not how I like my wrestling, to see a bloody woman. Said that? A lot of people. And I got to tell you, man, ridiculous. The thing I care about in wrestling more than holds and does it do, like, the thing I care about the most is, does it make sense? Does it work in a story? These are two women that have been going at it every week for the past couple of months. They've been beating the hell out of each other, which was eventually going to lead to something. And it led to this lights out match. And the fact that they both got color, the fact that they were both bleeding, the fact that they were both willing to take chair shots, table spots, ladder spots, tack bumps. Like, what in the, when she pulled out the tacks, bro, I wasn't even expecting that. No. I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna take this to a next level. And whoever, by the way, it's a thing, like, whoever pulls out the tacks in a match always ends up going through them. It doesn't matter, like, it doesn't matter what happens.
That's the price you pay for the pop.
Absolutely. But when Thunder Rosa power bombed her on the tacks, and Britt Baker sold it brilliantly. It's the way that she did it with that bloody face, like you just showed the picture. That's a t-shirt. That is what the AEW women's division needs. That shot in the arm that we talk about week after week after week. Like, this women's division, that picture right there says it all, dude. That look of, oh my God, like, what have I done? What have we gotten into? And it's just like, I don't know. I hate to use the word operatic because a lot of that has been used in the to describe Zack Snyder's Justice League, and that's fine. I haven't seen it yet, but it's just it felt like the magnum opus of the division. Like, this is okay. This is what the AEW women's division can be when it's done correctly. And the fact, again, that I said this a couple weeks ago, that Dr. Britt Baker did not win that women's title cup tournament to win the AEW women's title is so stupid. And I think this match made it look so stupid in retrospect that you look at someone like Hikaru Shida, who last week looked like a complete goof, taking those microphone shots from Maki Ito that looked so bad and so terrible, was getting choked on the ground by Vicky Guerrero. At one point, Vicky Guerrero lost her grip on the kendo stick, and Shida was choking herself. I mean, it was ridiculous. So your world champion looked like a goof. And Dr. Britt Baker made the division, took the whole thing on her back as it was originally planned, because the first female signing to AEW other than Brandy Rhodes, who was the chief officer, was Dr. Britt Baker. This whole division was meant to go on her shoulders, and she proved on Wednesday night that she is not only ready for that task to put the division on her shoulders, that it is long overdue, and I'm here for it. I'm done.
All right, well, talk to me about Rebel. Did you like Tanya Brooks? Did you like her, Tanya Brooks, going through the table? Did you like? I mean, I felt like we didn't need her in this match, and it became even more clear as the match went along how needless she was to this match, because these ladies were absolutely killing it without needing any kind of assistance or any kind of interference at all throughout the match. That being said, her taking the table shot was cool. I just didn't think it was necessary for this match. 5 minutes in, I actually wanted her like escorted out from because I just wanted to see these two talented women go at it for 20 minutes, even though it was only like an 18-minute match. I wanted to see them go at it for 20 more minutes afterwards. And when it was over, I was disappointed, not because of the match, but because it was over and I wasn't going to get to enjoy more of this madness, because I love that they kept upping the stakes. You talk about the beginning. It's supposed to start slow if you're going to end up here, right? Yeah. So this was it's like a monologue. You watch a monologue. They start out slow, laying the groundwork, then boom, boom, bam, and hit you with it. The tacks were that, and eventually getting the victor. Shout out to Thunder Rosa. Incredible match. But you're right. Both of them walk away from this getting hugged, getting ovations in the back, getting all kinds of love. I love Britt Baker's reaction when Khan rolled up at her to try to give her a compliment. She was like, yeah, thanks. It was almost, she was almost slightly dismissive of him, like saying like, yeah, that you didn't book me to win the fucking thing, but I showed you what I can do.
Absolutely.
But yeah, thanks for the shout out. I appreciate it. And all of that. So certainly she's got her points of views on it, but I think quite the reverse. These fans who complain about beautiful women, they shouldn't be going through tables or chairs or tacks or whatever. No, they actually should, because that shows to most of the wrestling fans who think they only got it. And listen, let's be honest. Some of the wrestling fans think certain women get into professional wrestling because they're pretty, or get a leg up because they're prettier, possibly, than some of the other wrestlers. So they get a leg up. The way to dispel that kind of shit is to take the bumps and the bruises. Look, no one respected Charlize Theron's acting overall until she did Monster. She had to ugly herself up for people to finally go, yes, this is an actual actress, not a pretty ingenue who's just being handed these things. And so unfortunately, that's the main public, and especially men. So to me, this I thought was a great way for Britt Baker to go, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I can do this. And I just showed you. And she won by losing. So to me, it was incredible. They both won in this match for their careers. And of course, Thunder Rosa getting the victory, but she won for losing as well. Britt Baker did. So I thought it was an incredible match that helped propel both of these ladies possibly out of the AEW down the road, brother. So it's an interesting situation for sure.
What's so funny is that WWE had the chance to sign Britt Baker a long time ago, but I think that she would have been lost in the shuffle by now because I don't think WWE even knows how to handle her. I think AEW, for all that it's worth, for as much as we bash their women's division, the stuff that they did with Britt Baker as a babyface was terrible. She was a bad babyface. Once they switched her to heel and found that second gear, like, okay, she can do this. She's been lights out, dude. So good as a heel. And I want to answer your thing about Rebel. You got to find a way to get her out of the match.
Yeah.
And when Thunder Rosa put her through that table, I was like, all right, that's kind of fun. And then later on, they showed that they were kind of panning around the ring, and they showed that table. She was still laying there.
Yeah.
She was still out of it. And I was like, that's great stuff. I love that a lot. And then Thunder Rosa hits that Death Valley driver from the outside through the table to get the victory.
Yeah.
Like, that was awesome, dude. Like, what a great finish. Way to do it. I didn't really chat up Thunder Rosa enough in this. She's been good, man. I've loved her since the Lucha Underground days when she was Cobra Moon. So I love Thunder Rosa. I'm looks like she's going to be going back to the NWA. So it looks like her time with AEW either is up or maybe a little bit shorter these days. But no doubt about it. If Thunder Rosa stock had been pretty high lately anyway, and this is just another jump for her to make a really tough decision down the road, whether she wants to go stay with NWA. Does she want to go back to AEW? Does she want to show up in WWE? I don't know, but Britt Baker's go ahead.
No, go ahead. Britt Baker, what?
Britt Baker stock just went through the roof. I can tell you that. So if they're not going to make her the next AEW Women's Champion, I don't know what they're doing, and that gets me a little afraid. But I think that she's going straight to the top to get that belt.
Yeah, a little bit of brilliant booking here. Having Britt Baker deliver the match of her life so far, but lose kind of sets people up to think that she should be vying for the belt now, because Thunder Rosa, even though she won, moves away from AEW back to NWA, as she said. And by the way, the WWE offered Thunder Rosa a contract. I read this in an interview, and she turned it down. Yeah, she said no, because I want to fight. That's what I want to do. So I don't want to be part of this other thing, because she's 34. And listen, 34, that's not young in the world of wrestling. Sorry, that you've taken a lot of bumps by the time you get to 34, especially a lifer like Rosa. So for her to deliver such a phenomenal match and just kind of step up to the plate, I thought was incredible. And I hope this helps people turn their eyes towards her a little bit more and bring her, and maybe they do bring her over to the WWE with way more fanfare now, because she certainly earned it for sure. And we'll see if Britt Baker gets lined up to go and take on the Sheeta for the belt. We shall see that as well. And I'm sure that's what they're setting up. Someone said, Chris Taylor said in the chat, she was being rude to Khan because she was being a heel. The cameras weren't on, Chris. She wasn't being a heel. She was giving her honest opinion about them not booking her correctly, in my opinion. So anyway, all right. Anything else we've got to say about this?
Fair enough. Murderanza says that Zack Snyder's Justice League is 12 gigs. So holy shit, that's a lot.
What do you mean 12 gigs? Just watch on HBO Max. What's wrong with you? Go sign up for the free trial and watch it for a week, for God's sake.
Can I have your HBO Max password so I can watch it? 'Cause I don't want to pay for it.
I'm not saying that publicly. But maybe.
Okay, fair enough. No, okay. No, I got it. I've got to watch. I'm going to pay the money, but 4 hours is a lot to commit. I'm moving.
Yeah, I did it over one day. I had to break it up in chunks because I was hosting shows and stuff, but I enjoyed it, and it was worth the wait. To me, I got my non-spoiler review up on my Outlaw on the channel you're watching now. It is up there now. Then tomorrow night we're doing the spoiler review with Kalinowski at 7 p.m. PT on my channel as well. So that's going to be part of it. So you'll get two reviews over the weekend, but yeah, definitely worth a watch. All right, and the only negative thing about the Thunder Rosa Britt Baker match, I'm going to put this out there, and I don't want to piss anybody off, but it's my opinion. I'm not going to say no offense on this. Shivani and JR are not the people to call this match. Oh. This should have been someone who has just a younger approach, a younger on top of it, getting it, those hits, those beats, those moments, they would have come to life under younger announcers. I don't mean younger like 20-year-olds. I mean like 35, 40-year-olds who still catch the rhythm of the match and know exactly how to hide. Mauro Ranallo would have killed this match, killed it in this match. And sadly, he's not a part of AEW, but someone needs to come in there, because enough is enough with these guys. This was a great match that merited a better commentary, in my opinion.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
I actually
Giving
thought
away my password, you son of a bitch.
I actually thought the line where Tony Schiavone was talking about Britt Baker, and he said Britt Baker is my friend. Like, I am kind of concerned for her in this match. I was like, well, that's actually a pretty good line. But I guess I agree with you for the most part. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Let's get on to our next thing. I don't see any. Sorry. I've got a Streamlab here from Christian Ramos. He says, I saw a picture of a huge pirate ship at the Buck Stadium for Mania, and there is speculation Kevin Owens is facing Sami Zayn, probably in a last man standing match, because we all know KO loves giant dives. But off a crow's nest, When is too far too far? I don't know if they would let him do it
There is a pirate ship in Raymond James Stadium. It's always there.
Yeah.
It's where they have like concession stands, and I think there's like a little bit of, I think there's like a children's play area on it.
Yeah.
But I could totally see Kevin Owens jumping off of that. I think they wanted to do that last year.
Yeah.
But of course that didn't happen, and he ended up jumping off the WrestleMania sign, which was pretty badass.
It was.
But yeah, it looks like we're finally going to get Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. That's going to be badass. And it doesn't matter if it's Shane McMahon or Kevin Owens or somebody's jumping off that fucking ship. That's
true.
Happen.
That's probably true for sure. All right, let's I know he's not available. I know he doesn't want a weekly gig. I was saying someone like him would be fantastic. So there we go. All right, let's move on. What's our next thing? We got to wrap up here in the next few minutes.
You're getting a lot of heat with the listeners.
I like a little battle. Get a little put some blood in your veins, get a little back and forth with people in the chat on a Saturday afternoon. I'm down. Let's do it.
Blood on your face. All right, now we're talking about the Fastlane preview that comes to you this Sunday on Peacock and the WWE Network. If you still have it, I think it'll be on there too. But Peacock will be hosting this, so we'll get to see, like you said, the litmus test of how good is Peacock going to be at streaming something live. That's what we'll all look forward to. So let's start out with the matches here. We'll go over it real quick and see what it is. See what we think. This is my favorite match that's happening. Okay. Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton.
Woo!
Who you got here in this one?
Alexa Bliss. There's no way Randy wins this match. It's a woman. And this is such a weird situation if you factor in Randy's past with some of these accusations that we've heard from him off camera. So to have him fighting a woman, you've got to walk the line really carefully here. But someone like Alexa Bliss look, normally, of course, Randy Orton throws her around the ring and the match is over in 30 seconds. But this is great for character work for both sides. And so I'm excited to see what Alexa's going to do here. She's going to pull out all the stops. There's no way the Fiend doesn't find a way to be a part of this in some manner, shape, or form, whether physically or on the screen or turning off all the lights or something. So to me, this is going to be a great challenge because Randy's not going to know what's coming. And this is going to be a great showcase for Alexa and what levels of this character she hasn't explored yet that she can show the fans. So this is going to be so much fun to see. And she's a gifted performer. And this is a great stage to show what more she can do with this character. What about you?
This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm hoping that the Fiend shows up with some kind of burnt up new face mask because that would be rad and that'll sell a lot of merchandise. I think it's going to be fairly short. I think we'll probably get the Fiend showing up rather quickly or some kind of disqualification, something kabuki-ish. It's not going to be a clean 1, 2, 3, but it should be fun. And I will also go with Alexa Bliss in this one.
Do you think we'll get the Cena Fiend type match, or do you think we're actually going to get physically in the ring match?
I think we're going to get physical in the ring. I don't think we're going to see a Firefly Funhouse Part 2. I think that was just a special thing for John Cena at that time. But
okay. Some people want a Fiend 2.0. Do you think we'll see a makeover of the Fiend? Do you think we'll see new Fiend?
I think we're going to get some different costuming. I think we're going to get a burnt mask. I think it's going to be pretty rad. That's all I can hope for.
All right. What's our next match?
A match that I'm not really too invested in. Braun Strowman versus Shane O'Mac. Shane McMahon, possibly.
Who gives a shit about this one? Oh, my God. Who gives a shit? That slime. Oh, God.
Terrible.
It's insulting. This is a go to the bathroom, take a crap match. This is if you were in the stadium, this is go get your snacks match. And yes, Shane will jump off the top of the stadium. We've seen it. It's not going to make this come to life. There's been no legitimately exciting hype behind this match. This is very reminiscent. Someone pointed out last week to the Undertaker thing. It's also very reminiscent to the Kane thing, except Shane was a face and Kane was the heel. So to me, this in the end, it's just a go get a drink and flip channels match until it's over and then go on to the next one. So I don't give a fuck who wins. I'm not even going to predict because I don't give a fuck who wins. Yeah, I'm
kind of on the same wavelength as you. I don't give a fuck who wins. Yeah, I think that Shane McMahon will win because I think somebody will interfere on his behalf, and that will be Braun Strowman's WrestleMania opponent. Maybe a Dabba-Kato that we saw in Raw Underground, or somebody fighting in his stead. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I have less than zero interest in this one. Our next match is Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre, which we have seen this match I feel like a lot lately. So I guess we're going to get the finale here at Fastlane before Drew McIntyre takes on Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. What do you think here, man?
This is a tough one for me to look at because I like both of these wrestlers. I like what they can bring to the situation here. Drew McIntyre's got to get himself back into a situation, but it's a weird combo. It's a weird twosome, man, because Drew doesn't have the strap. So if Drew loses here, this pushes him further down the chain, right? As a champion, it signals that the WWE is going forward with the mighty, with Bobby Lashley, and Drew is not going to be vying for this title for quite some time. Sheamus, on the other hand, is making a comeback. He's starting to make noise again. So do you stop this run for Sheamus and have him lose this match? I don't know. So in the end, I do see Drew McIntyre winning because I just don't see the WWE walking away from that just yet. But don't be surprised if Sheamus wins this and they start to move Drew down, like they did with the Punjabi Warrior, like they did with him,
Jinder Mahal,
like they moving him down. That could be possible. Don't forget, McIntyre is 3MP, and if McIntyre's not getting over, they have no problem just moving him down the chain, which would suck. So I don't see it happening just yet because he just got the belt taken off of him. But don't be surprised if it does. So I'm going to take Drew, but tentatively here. What about you?
Well, I mean, it's already been announced that it's McIntyre and Lashley at WrestleMania. So I think it's going to be Lashley interfering in this match.
Good call.
We're probably going to get Sheamus over Drew McIntyre because of Lashley interference. That would be my guess. That's what I'll go with to set up their WrestleMania feud. It's what it seems like we're going to get. Probably the Miz will also get involved somewhere, somehow, some way before he starts feuding with Bad Bunny again. So we'll see.
Where is this? People say it has. Where do you see it? Cite me an official site that's worth a damn, not WrestlingKneePads4000.com. Cite me a real wrestling site with credibility that is saying this match has been canceled. I've seen rumors, but it hasn't been officially canceled. I haven't seen anywhere where they've officially canceled it yet. Yeah, I know Drew versus Lashley is booked at WrestleMania, but we're 4 weeks out, 3 weeks out, rather. Stuff can change. You never know, depending on where creative wants to go in this situation. So, and these COVID positive tests, we haven't even touched on it. These positive COVID tests, apparently there are a number of people who tested positive. They haven't announced who they are in the WWE. It could affect some of these WrestleMania matches, depending on how severe the infection is, depending on if there's contact, depending on if they have to be in isolation or quarantine for a number of days. So we shall see how that's going to affect the WrestleMania cards right now. So, all right. Per Wikipedia, someone could write that in. What Culture is reporting it? All right. Is that true? Are you seeing that?
I've got Wrestling Inc., which is what I go to a lot. It says WWE pulls it.
Okay.
It's no longer being announced. So I got whoopsie, guys.
All right. Let's see.
Sorry about that.
If it's not being okay, if they pulled it, they pulled it. All right, let's keep going then.
All right. So our next match, hopefully that wasn't canceled, is Apollo Crews versus Big E for the Intercontinental Championship, a feud that has really been heating up on SmackDown. Like last night, if you saw the side-by-side interview where Apollo Crews started talking in his Nigerian accent, and Big E took exception to that and said he had enough of this and went and beat the hell out of Apollo Crews. You know that we've got a lot going on in this match. I'm going to stick with Big E. I think he's going to get it, but I think we're going to get this match again.
Yeah, I think so too. I 1,000% agree with you. This is going to be great to showcase Apollo and this new character he's embracing and doing so well. So this is going to be a next step. And I hope they're coming out with a new Apollo Crews shirt if they haven't already. Although I love that old school 70s one that he has. It's an awesome shirt. But let's see if he's got another one coming down the pike that could be even more awesome with the new color scheme he's using. But yeah, I'm down to see this match. I'm excited to see it. I do think Big E takes it because they're not ready to put the strap on Crews yet. If they want to give Crews this run and move Big E into the championship or the top title pool, then I think that's where Crews wins it at WrestleMania, not here. It has more weight if he wins it at WrestleMania. But this is going to be a barn burner of match between two huge beasts.
Yeah, should be a good one to see where we're going to go forward in the WWE Championship race, because you got to look at someone like Big E, who's really been groomed to take that spot.
Yeah.
At some point, I said a couple a couple shows ago that I think he's a year away from being the WWE champion. Apollo Crews. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got here. I mean, give it to him. Let's see what we have in him. Maybe he could be a future top star. So we'll see.
Possible. Chris Taylor saying Suplex 600,000 is my source. LOL. That's for sure. That's a good source.
Suplex City. Fair enough. Our next match is the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match, which will be Bianca Belair and SmackDown Women's Champion Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
So who do you got in this one?
I just don't see Bianca and Sasha winning this thing right before they go to WrestleMania to battle it out for her title. It would seem weird. So I don't see it happening. What I do see happening is they blow the opportunity to win the match because of infighting between them, as we saw with on NXT with Karrion and Finn Balor. So that's what I see happening more than anything else. So Nia and Shayna win by default rather than actually beating these two ladies. So that's what I think is going to happen.
100% agree. I think that's going to be the exact outcome because they've been friends up until this point, like buddy, saving each other. We got to build a rivalry now to get to WrestleMania. So I think we're going to see the boss come out in this and start taking out Bianca Belair.
Do you think? Do you think Boss will go heel?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to get Boss. Yeah.
There's no better version of Sasha than heel Sasha. She's fucking incredible. Anyway,
I think that's what we're going to get. And then our big finale, the WWE Universal title match, which will be Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, with Edge as the special guest enforcer. Now, don't forget, Edge is taking on Roman Reigns, or could be Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, depending on who wins. So who do you got here?
Reigns, of course. No problem, I don't think. Unless I don't know. Like I said, unless the COVID situation causes a change here, but I just don't think I think Reigns, Daniel Bryan is in putting the young talent over mode, and he'll deliver a hell of a match that'll push Reigns to the limit. Edge might interfere in some way, shape, or form. Roman might try to get himself disqualified so he doesn't lose to Daniel Bryan. Is Jey Uso going to interfere? So there's a lot that I think that may happen here because Edge beat Jey Uso to become the enforcer, or the referee rather, for this match. So there's no way I don't think Jey Uso is going to have something to do with this thing in the end. But I do think Roman Reigns wins this thing. Hopefully not a terrible handicap to a pole moment. Hopefully this is a fantastic match between both of these guys. And then Edge probably suckers Roman Reigns while he's holding his hand, or vice versa. Roman Reigns suckers Edge with a spear as he's lifting up his arm. That's possible too.
I could see Edge accidentally costing Daniel Bryan. I could see like maybe he goes for a spear and hits Daniel Bryan instead of Roman Reigns. And then it's like, you got to count the three. Someone's got to count the three. And then, Roman Reigns and Edge get to do their thing. But Daniel Bryan and Roman are going to put on a hell of a show. It's going to be a great main event. I can't wait to see it. They did this at Fastlane a few years ago. Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, it was a good match then. It should be a great match now. I will go with Roman Reigns to retain, and we will get Roman Reigns versus Edge. Y'all don't like Edge at WrestleMania. Little Teddy Long there for you.
I like it. Yes, Cambosos, we talked about it at the 32-minute mark. We went on for, I think, about 15 minutes on it. So rewind back after you're done watching our show and enjoy our conversation about it.
We said it sucked.
Yeah, you did not say that. And, Jeremy says Edge will screw over one of them to make it a triple threat match at Mania. Oh, I didn't think about that. Do you want Daniel Bryan in a triple threat match with Roman Reigns as Edge? Do you think that's what they might do so that Edge, he's coming back from injury? Is this a way of maybe saving Edge a little bit in a situation like this?
I think they could, but why would you have Edge win the Royal Rumble, challenge Roman Reigns to eventually make it a triple threat? It just doesn't seem like a good idea. You can build the battle of spear versus spear. You can't really build that in a triple threat match. So as cool as that would be to see, I would go with Edge and Roman Reigns just one-on-one.
Yep. I like it. Okay. All right. Do you see any surprises? Someone mentioned in the chat that Hulk Hogan's going to be one of the people hosting this. Will he be at the table? They announced
that Hulk Hogan and Titus O'Neil will be hosting WrestleMania this year, which has really taken the internet by storm. A lot of people are not pleased.
Oh, yeah.
That Hulk Hogan is hosting, especially alongside Titus O'Neil. And Titus O'Neil even liked a tweet criticizing Hulk Hogan as the host. So,
Titus O'Neil criticized it?
Or Titus O'Neil liked a tweet that criticized Hulk Hogan as the host, which we beat a dead horse on this show about it.
Yep.
I don't really want to talk about it anymore.
Okay.
Where we both stand. As far as I'm concerned, Billie Kay should have been the host for WrestleMania. That's where I stand, because she's been so good on the mic that I would love to see what Billie Kay could do with a little bit of comedy, a little bit of time. I think she would have been great. But it's Hulk Hogan, it's Titus O'Neil. Who cares? They're hosting WrestleMania. Hosts don't mean shit. Doesn't matter. Who cares?
Okay. All right. People. Seeing it now. Yeah, Titus O'Neil liked a tweet bashing Hulk Hogan as a host of WrestleMania. So, I don't understand. I don't know. I guess, Titus O'Neil seemingly hasn't forgiven Hulk Hogan for his racist comments. He said, "This is not about a second or third chance. It's about a man making a decision to make statements they truly felt in his heart. I believe at that time. He may not feel that way now. He may regret it, but to come out and say, I didn't know I was being recorded, and be careful what you say. I don't remember saying that stuff. When you start an apology like that, dude, you lost it already. I wanted to give him a chance. I didn't know what that meeting was about going in, but I wanted to give him a chance. Of course, that meeting was a while ago. But Titus released a video of himself saying he's excited and humbled to be hosting WrestleMania in his hometown of Tampa. And maybe there's going to be a little more of the mea culpa here from Hogan in the hosting. Maybe he's not going to try to make himself the center of attention. Maybe he's going to defer to Titus. Maybe Titus is going to take shots at Hulk's expense, and Hulk's just going to have maybe a situation where they make that happen to kind of further the quote unquote redemption of Hogan for the comments he made. So Titus points out, though, very correct stances, I think, on this. You don't start out an apology by warning people not to say what you really feel, because it might be recorded. You start an apology by saying, I said some terrible stuff. I shouldn't have said it. I'm completely in the wrong here. I apologize to everybody who was offended by the words I said. I will work harder on myself, and you will see the difference in me and the things I'm doing. There's a right way and a wrong way. Some people don't want to forgive Michael Vick for what he did to the dogs and whatever, but Michael Vick has put in his time. He has worked more for the ASPCA longer than he ever did doing dog fighting. So this is where you see the real redemption, the real person making amends for mistakes that he's made in the past. And Hulk Hogan should have done more of that. And I love Hogan. I love Hogan to pieces, but I will always call something out when I see it happening. And when I see somebody handling things incorrectly, that's got to be called out. So we'll see how they navigate this with Titus and Hogan. People are right to be upset, but I hope the WWE uses this as a teaching moment rather than ignoring it and brushing it under the rug.
Well said. Well said.
Just saying. All right. I think that's it, right? We got no more to talk about. All right. No more Streamlabs that I see, no more super chats. So next week, ladies and gentlemen, would love it if you gave us a little bit more support. Didn't make much today, but we love doing the show. We just want to have you guys sending in some Streamlabs and super chats to keep us doing the show every week, supporting the show every week. And another way you can do it, I know times are tight, so I respect it. Another way you can help our show is to like the show. Give it a thumbs up. If you're watching right now and you haven't given it a thumbs up, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below for those of you who watch it after we do it live, and a lot of you do, and to share the show on your social media. We're trying to build this show up. I see other wrestling shows that have like thousands upon thousands of views, and I think we're just as damn good as those shows, and we should be getting that kind of attention, that kind of love. So help us do that by sharing it and telling people about it, telling your friends and family about it if they're pro wrestling fans. And people even watch this show who are part of the Outlaw Nation who don't even like wrestling. They just enjoy our banter. We have such great chemistry. So we want to get more eyes on this show, more love for the show. So please do your part. If you can't contribute, please do your part in that way. Aaron, another great show, brother, man. Where can they reach you? Any final words, and where can they find you?
Well, you can find me in Tampa Bay in a couple of weeks for WrestleMania. You can find me there. I'll try to do some live stuff. Maybe we can put up some videos. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And you can find me on Twitter at only Aaron Turner. I'm going to be moving in the next week or so. So Strong Style. Yeah, Strong Style next week may have to be pre-recorded, so just hold on to your butts for that, and we'll figure out what to do there. We'll keep you informed. But the next time, not this time, but the next time after that you see me, I should have not a spare room behind me. It should be my actual office studio. Awesome. So excited for that. Let's go.
Yep, I might have to send you some money so you can get me some WrestleMania swag. I'd be down for that. And shout out to Aaron Turner for getting those tickets. Shout out to anybody who's watching or listening to this who got tickets. Enjoy the event. Have a great time. I hope it goes off well. I hope nobody gets COVID. I hope it's all well handled, and you guys get to enjoy some live WWE action again at the premiere event of the WWE WrestleMania. You can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. Always up to have conversations with y'all about your wrestling takes on anything. So please don't be shy. Reach out. Let's have some fun back and forth. And also, as I said, please remember to like and leave a comment. Also, subscribe to the channel. We barreled through 16,300 last night. Let's start marching towards 16,400. Let's start marching towards 17,000. Let's start marching towards 20,000. One of my patrons believes we'll cross 20,000 by June or July. That's going to take a lot of work from my end and also a lot of work from your end, sharing this and telling people to subscribe to the channel and subscribing yourself. So and hit that bell. Don't forget that bell so you know when the new content is popping up here on the channel. Much love to all of you. Don't forget our Falcon and Winter Soldier spoiler review is up now. The Geek Buddies on the Outlaw Nation channel is up now with Kalinowski joining us. He'll be joining us for the next 6 weeks talking about it. And then also tomorrow night, 7 p.m. PT. Don't forget to join us live for a Snyder Cut review. I don't know how the hell this is going to go down talking about a 4-hour movie, but it's going to be nuts. That's for sure. All right. Take care of yourselves. Practice social distancing. Wear your masks and come back and see us next week for another live episode of Strong Style.